Okay, so top lip wax. We are going to need obviously our wax pot. This has got honey wax in it, but you can also use cream wax as well. You've got your pre-wax that we use to cleanse the area before we start. This is going to remove any makeup if the client is wearing any. She might have a facial massage moisturising cream on or anything else that might be on the face. Obviously we have the after wax lotion that we can put onto the area after we've waxed. It's going to cool and soothe the area. This is a lotion, but you can also use the gel as well. I wouldn't use after wax oil on the face because it wouldn't leave that oily look. So the lotion or the after wax gel would be a good bet to use. We've got some cotton wool that we're going to use to apply these products, some gloves and spatula. Now I usually take a large spatula and you break it in half, and that will give you a smaller one to use. Okay, we've got the client with a headband on so the hair is all protected in case any of the wax does drip, and I've also protected her top half as well with a towel just in case any of the wax drips. Okay. Okay, so we're going to pre-wax the area first. Just work the product into the cotton wool so that when you put it onto the skin it doesn't all go up to the nostrils. And then clean the area. And then we're going to apply the wax in the direction of the hair growth. So you would find that the hair normally comes down either side, and then you have a little bit here and then a little bit in the middle. So we're probably going to apply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections, and we're going to remove it with strips, which we're actually going to cut up with scissors. And I'll show you how to make those smaller. You can use a paper or a wax fabric strip. And if we apply the wax now, I'll show you how to cut it up first. So if you take the strip and fold it in half, and then fold it in half again, and then fold it in half again, then take the scissors and cut up the middle. And then up the middle again. That will give you perfectly sized wax strips to use for the top lip. And you can use the paper or the fabric. So if we apply a small amount, you don't need to dip the spatula all the way in. So just end the tip of the spatula, yeah? And then when you apply, you can stretch it ever so slightly. You don't need to get your client to fold the lip under, because if they fold the lip under, sometimes they tuck too much of the lip under and a layer of hair kind of goes under with it. So I prefer to stretch my client rather than tuck in for me, Evie. When you see when she tucks in, she loses part of her top lip. Yeah? Okay, so just relax. So I prefer to stretch and then apply it downwards in the direction of the hair growth. And I've taken it along to the lip line, but not on the lip line as well, because the lip is actually quite thin and you can tear the lip, okay? So I've come down quite close with my wax without actually going onto the lip itself, yeah? And the same thing, when I'm going to remove this, I'll stretch it and apply my strip, yeah? Keep that stretch on. So we want to press that in. We really want to make sure that we're picking up all of that wax because we don't want to be doing sticky on the face, you know, taking sticky off. So really press it in. You can even see the wax coming through the strip the other side, yeah? So really press that down. And then readjust your strip and then remove against the hair growth, okay? So we'll do like this little section here. Now with the older clients, sometimes as you lose adipose tissue underneath the skin, you can get that sunken look, or some ladies are quite wrinkly around the mouth, and so the hairs can kind of be tucked in. So you have to kind of stretch it out. Do you remember we spoke about this with the underarms? Sometimes you have to kind of reveal the hairs, yeah? The same thing here. So I'm going to stretch to reveal these ones in the corner there, okay? Again, you don't need to get the client to be poking the tongue out. Poke your tongue out to the side here, like this. Yeah? So sometimes you might see that in salons where they're poking the tongue out. Now what happens there is the tongue gets in the way, you can't stretch properly, you can't put the wax over it properly, and also it's quite achy on the mouth to get the client to kind of poke the tongue out for a long period of time. So a technique around that is to, again, a small amount, stretch that open, yeah, reveal that hair, stretch that open, and then that kind of comes down like little handlebars, yeah, keeping that stretch on, stretch to apply, then you'll be revealing the hairs. Okay, and we move straight up, so we move against. We'll do the other side. Just going to turn you towards the camera so you can see. Okay, same thing. And we're going to come and stretch slightly. Come from the centre, down, onto that lip line, but not actually on the lip itself. Keeping that stretch on. As I press the wax in. And as I said before, you can almost see the wax coming through the other side of that strip, yeah? Then you know it's really have picked all of that wax up. Give it a good stretch and remove against. We'll do the other little handlebar before we do the centre part. Now, if you agree, it doesn't hurt, does it? The top lip isn't painful. So I'm just going to stretch that open. Really pick that wax up. Good stretch. And remove against. Now the last part is the most difficult part, in that you've got to try to stretch this area here. This is the bit that if you're gonna rip the skin, if you're gonna tear any part, it will be here because you're not supported enough. And as you wax, can you hear that? Did you hear that? Yeah. So that's what therapists do, is they don't stretch that enough. So when you pull up, if you're hearing that noise, yeah, likelihood is you're going to have some skin removal and the client will scab over, okay? So it's really important, if I just get you to turn Evie so everyone can see how I'm stretching. So, if we come down, this little middle part here, Again, up to the lip line, you can see, but not on the lip itself. And this is the part where you need to stretch. So you're going to come around, put your thumb and your finger, and can you see that stretch? I'll just show you again. Thumb and finger and stretch. Really stretch down, okay? My strip is a little bit too small to do it in one, so I'm going to do it in two. Really press in, really make sure and my stretch is right at the base of the wax. It's not here, because that's not good enough. It needs to be right where I've applied that wax. And then straight up. The more you stretch, the less uncomfortable the client's going to feel. But I wouldn't say that top lip is painful. And then I've just got a tiny little bit there that I'm going to take off. And I would always check with my mag lamp once I've finished. We don't want to be leaving any stray hairs for my client. So when I was finished, I would always bring my mag lamp over, okay, and take a look underneath to see if any hairs are still there, okay. If you're happy with your treatment, you can go ahead and put your after lotion on. Again, I would work that into the cotton wool. Otherwise, it ends up kind of going up the nose and into the mouth. So work that into the cotton wool. And then a nice application of after wax lotion will help to soothe and cool the area. Okay.